Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today, especially my new viewers and new subscribers. I'm a 57-year-old American who got sick and tired of being sick and tired of the rat race over in America and decided that I was going to pack it all up and move to the Philippines in search of a new life. Well, I found that new life, and I want to share my experiences with you, my boots on the ground experiences. The only way I know how, and that's by giving you the nitty gritty. This is exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. Never going to sugarcoat that. It's not going to start today. You know, the name of my vlog is You Either Love the Philippines or You Hate It. There's no middle of the road in that situation. And I got that idea from one of my subscribers. One of his comments was, he said, I watch your videos all the time and you make it real clear. You're either going to love it or hate it there, you know, and he couldn't have been more right. I just so happen to love it. And I've been practically around the world. There's only a couple of places I haven't been. I haven't been to Australia, haven't been to New Zealand, but just about everywhere else, if I haven't been there, I've been in the vicinity. Through the Suez Canal, you know, Italy, Israel, you know, Africa, of course, the Far East now, you know, just about all the 50 states, Central America, South America. Haven't been to Puerto Rico. But I've been to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. You know, I've sipped coffee in one of the outdoor cafes, you know, watching as some of the most beautiful people on the planet walk by. You know, women in fishnet bikinis. And if you didn't know it, the G-string was invented in Rio. And I looked out in Copacabana and, you know, seeing people just living a carefree life without a care in the world. I've marveled at the castles in Cartagena, Colombia. I've brought white sand home from Cancun. I frolicked on the beach in Playa del Carmen with Cozumel in the background. You know, I've viewed the tombs of the popes in St. Peter's Basilica. I've shooed away the pigeons in Trafalgar Square in London. But it wasn't until one evening in February 2019 while I was walking along the beach in Boracay in the Philippines, and I looked out on that blue-green ocean and the sun was setting directly on top of the water, did my heart skip a beat. That I realized that at that very moment I was living my dreams. Everything had come together, everything had come full circle. And, you know, it started me reminiscing about my life and how I got to that point. Because, you know, I grew up poor, you know, in America, in American standards, and my mother sent me to the store one day with a book of food stamps. And back in those days, food stamps came in books, $65 book, $50 book, I think 40, you know, anybody that knows what I'm talking about. And she said, you know, boy, just go up there to the store, it was A&P, and get a loaf of bread for dinner. Well, it took me all day to get that loaf of bread because I was so embarrassed that to spend those food stamps, that every time somebody got behind me in line, I would get out and go to the end of the line again. You know, at 8 years old, you know, had no idea that everybody in my neighborhood was on food stamps and that my mother was just only doing the best she could under those circumstances. But it was from that day and to this day that I made a decision. You know, I didn't want to live on welfare. I didn't want to be poor. And I was going to do everything I could to make sure that didn't happen. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you something. It's hot out here today, and I did my video out here for a reason. I wanted to show you that summer has arrived in the Philippines. And this is one of the reasons that will make you love this place I hate it. See, I love the hot weather. And every winter, you know when you're a kid, you know, you like the snow, but I don't like the cold. I just remember walking to school all the time, man, my hands would be freezing, my toes would be freezing because we couldn't afford gloves back then. You know, there was no insulated boots or anything like that. And I just remember always dreaming. Once I found out that there's places on the planet where it never gets cold, I said, one day I'm going to live there. But yeah, summer starts here somewhere around March, runs to about October, and May is just super, super hot. But I love it, because I'm an outdoor type of person. I do a lot of walking, riding my bike. I do a lot of working out. But this type of heat over here is dangerous. You don't want to be walking around in it, disillusioned, impaired in any kind of way, or you will pay a price. But you do get a break, as I always remind you, in the early morning and somewhere around 5:30 or 6 at night. But yeah, the summer's here, so when you get over here, it's going to be hot. Bring a comfortable pair of shoes. Don't wait till you get over here and try to buy flip-flops or find some shoes. Buy them now when you can't get over here. See, that's one thing you're going to need, because you're going to do a lot of walking. A lot of times you got to walk to the public transportation and walk from the public transportation. But, I love the Philippines. I love the people. I love the way of life. You always hear about people talking about the laid-back lifestyle here, and it's like going back in a time machine, but they never really go into any detail. See, every day over here, and this is true, man, and I don't know if it's because I'm retired or not, but every day over here seems like it's Sunday to me. When I came here in 2009, I came here at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't really see a whole lot. But when I got up in the morning, I was in Cebu, and we went downtown, and you would just see people, a lot, mostly men, laying around, lounging around. And, in my mind, I'm thinking, that there's only one way to live, like in America. These guys are lazy. But not really. It's just their way of life. And the more that I become acclimated to the Philippines and what life is like over here, the more I love it. You're either going to embrace this place or you're going to cringe at just about everything. John was telling me about a friend. They told him about visiting the village where his girlfriend lives, and said he didn't want to sit down anywhere. He was too good to eat the food. He was complaining. And you're either going to get that or you're going to get somebody like me. But you're not going to get anything in between, see? And, that's immediate. This can be a magical place for 2 weeks, or it can be a magical place for the expat who has done his research, who has prepared carefully, and has come here and found his sweet spot. But I love it here. I have no complaints at all. I ran away from the rat race. You heard me always saying that rat race. See, when we were little, my mother and father separated when I was 6. Of course, like I said, she went on food stamps, she went on welfare, the health card and all of that. She was just doing the best she could. But one of my sisters, who's the second eldest, she's 10 years older than me, she was able to get a scholarship to Union College in Barberville, Kentucky. Now, this isn't any college, ladies and gentlemen. This is like the Ivy League college in Kentucky. And she finished in 3 years. She's a brilliant woman, even to this day. She's about ready to retire as a school teacher. That's her second career. She retired from AT&T about 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. I can't remember. But this is her second time retiring. And when she graduated, she showed us another way to live. Okay, she had the fancy cars, she had the fancy houses, took the nice trips. It was the first one I ever knew with a passport. But see, I didn't know that lifestyle came with a cost. So I chased that lifestyle till it almost killed me. See, that's why I can appreciate the laid-back atmosphere here. See, I'm no longer working those 14-hour days. I'm no longer worrying about my sales for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year. See, I'm kicked back. I'm as happy here as I've ever been, and pre-pandemic or pandemic now, And I want to give a shout out right now while I remember to my girlfriend, because, she got jealous this morning of my music. I told her, I said, honey, I need this music. It gets my day started. It calms me down. It gets things moving in the right direction. She got mad. You know, she said, it's not me. I'm not the one that does that. You know, and I just want to let her know, you know, how much I love you. And you know my feelings for you. You know you're number one in my book. You don't have that to worry about. See, and she's another reason, you know, why I love it here. And if you have any doubt in your mind, if I love the Filipinos for real, if I love the Philippines for real, go to my Sunshine Shoulders Facebook page. Okay, it's dedicated to helping Filipinos during the pandemic. That's all it is. There's no talk about online dating. There's no talk about scams. There's no talking about stealing. None of that. It's nothing but positive information about what's going on during the pandemic in the Philippines. So thank you so much today. I just want to make this short video to let the gentleman know that he hit the nail on the head. You're either going to love it over here or you're going to hate it. You know, you're either going to embrace the traffic situation or it's going to drive you crazy. You're either going to embrace the slow, methodical pace of this country or you're going to hate it. You know, you're either going to love the people or you're going to get tired of them smiling at you all the time, helping you all the time, being friendly all the time. You know, you're either going to embrace that or you're going to say, oh, they want something. There's something behind that. See, so he was true. You know, there's no middle of the road solution. When I made my channel, it's exactly why I made it. I wanted to give you a bird's eye view of what it's really like on the ground here in the Philippines. Not some drones flying around showing you just the better parts of the Philippines. I wanted to basically, you know, give you a real perspective of what you're going to find when you get over here. And I hope I've done a good job doing that. You know, I've broken a lot of my rules here lately. But it only goes to show you that a lot of the advice I give you is sound. You know, because I want you to have a great time when you come over here. You didn't come 18 hours. You didn't come 8,000 miles to have a good time. I want you to have a great time. I want it to be safe. I want it to be stress-free. See, I didn't come over here to, you know, and make the mistake that 95% of us as foreigners make when we come over here. We want to live the same lifestyle we're living in America, just with a new address in the Philippines. No, I wanted a new life. I created myself a new life over here without accruing any debt, okay? Without making any enemies over here, without the stress, without the strain and all of that, see? Don't be like the 95%. Don't talk like they talk, like Jim Rome says. Don't walk like they walk. Do something different when you get over here, man. And I tell you, I guarantee you, I promise you that you will love this place just like I did. So thank you so much for stopping by today. If you're in America and beyond, it's already late. You're already in the bed. So I'm going to talk to your subconscious mind. When you get up in the morning, you go to work, go to get that cup of coffee, you go to buy that newspaper and you see somebody out in the street, give them a couple of dollars. Buy them something to drink. Buy them something to eat. If you're in the Philippines, it's probably about 1 o'clock p.m. We still got about 4 or 5 hours to find somebody to help. There's no excuse for finding somebody to help over here. There's millions of people over here that need our help. It's very, very important that we find somebody to help, especially during this pandemic. There's going to come a time when you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what did I do during the pandemic? Who did I help during the pandemic? Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID-free, and I'll see you next time. Again, join me on my live stream tomorrow. It wasn't today because traveling to Bacolod, it really messed up my schedule. But I'm going to give you some information on some travel updates, some loosening of some quarantine restrictions in the Philippines. And, you know, this place is really getting ready to open back up, guys. So thank you so much and take care.